There we go.
All right. Wonderful. Well, hello and happy February. Oh my gosh. I still can't believe it. I had to turn the calendar. I'm like, it's February of 2025. We are already a full month into the new year. Um, I'm just kind of, the time just seems to be moving really, really, really quickly. But we are thrilled that you're tuning in with us, whether you're live or you will catch this on the replay. We will post the replay on our Team Legacy YouTube channel. And it will also be loaded into the Dial My Calls for our Amish community as well. So, welcome and good evening for those of you who may be meeting us for the first time. I know we have a lot of new consultants that joined the team last month. My name is Holly. This is my husband, Brian, and we are coming to you from Sarasota, Florida, where we made the move about actually coming up here on eight years, to
Hmm.
be exact, because we just didn't want to participate in winter anymore. So nothing against you Northerners who up there in Ohio. We didn't like the cold weather anymore.
Yeah,
So
and for those that don't know, you're allowed to move. You don't have to stay, where you are. So,
right. If you don't like the weather and Life Vantage honestly gave us that option. And that's just one reason why we love this incredible opportunity. So again, welcome to the team. We have a ton of new consultants that joined in the month of January. So this is your first call. Feel free to say hi in the chat or drop a one. Oh, look at we got little faces. I got it. I'm looking at the yeah. So Rhoda's got a little buddy there. He's saying hi. He's saying hi. But we actually have some special guests. These are two individuals that you guys have never, ever met before. Um, and we're just thrilled to have the opportunity to share you with them. All right. These two amazing ladies that we're going to introduce to you this evening, they have actually helped us in being able to do what we do. They've been with us for 2 years now, right? Coming up on 2.5 years, actually, I think.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah, 2.5 years now. It'll be 3 in June. Is that right? I think June around that time.
Oh, it sounds like a long time. Has it been that long?
Has it? Yeah, yeah, Brian. Yeah, I think so. But anyway, we found these two incredible ladies a few years ago, and they have become our virtual assistants. They have helped us with a lot of administrative things and tasks, and in order for us to be able to make ourselves available, and really just to continue to support the team, right? And that's really what it's all about. Is we want to be here for you while also still building our own Life Vantage business, right? There's that fine balance. And not that you got to go and get your own assistants at any point, so don't misunderstand us, but they've really kind of helped us, especially man the social media front and stay on top of recognition and things to that nature. So we wanted to take the opportunity to let these ladies introduce themselves to you. All right. We want you to know who they are, because frankly, we're probably going to be calling on them a lot more this year. As the year progresses, we're going to be asking them to help us out with a few other things and make themselves available. And they may even be calling you and leaving you messages. And we want you to know that these ladies are legit. They are representing us. They are representing part of Life Vantage, and they're here really truly to help you guys. And so I guess you know what? I have Michelle on here first with the picture. So we will be introducing to you both Michelle Eschlin and Madison Downs. So first, Michelle, we could probably unshare Brian and let everybody see Michelle and she can tell us a little bit about herself.
Hello, everybody. You guys are talking about trips and everything. And like Holly said, we've been with them for a while. So I've seen a lot of pictures and feel like I know everybody without actually like meeting everybody in the last few years. But I'm like, oh yeah, Alaska, you're going to Alaska and you're doing this trip. So, but my name is Michelle. I live in Indiana. So I'm one of those Northerners that have stayed in the snow. And actually, I adventured off to northern Idaho with even more snow and cold, complete opposite of Brian and Holly, for a while, and then found myself back in Indiana. And I have a little guy as well with me right now. He's almost 4. So being able to work at home and being able to help Brian and Holly, that's been able to help me be at home with my little guy all the time. So yeah, and like Holly said, pretty much what we do, and doing a little bit more. I know we've made some calls before, and some people are like, oh, hey, who are you? And so hopefully like Fate's with the names now, doing a little bit more calls, but sending out recognitions as far as incentives like Alaska trips or any like welcome to the team letters, and let's see what else. Pretty much anything, any bonuses earned, things like that, and just helping out with social media, or just maybe trying to help out with anything that we can. So
Holly, you're on
Holly,
mute.
you're muted.
But I knew it. I didn't want to interrupt. I wanted to, what would you say is one fun thing about you, Michelle, that most people may not know? What would be something, I know we didn't talk about this, but I just
Yeah.
figured share some fun facts maybe like about Michelle. Who's Michelle?
Well, speaking of my northern Idaho, venturing out there, I like to be outdoors. So I really like to hunt and fish. And my little guy, I really have brought him into that world too. So I've kind of am trying to help other moms kind of learn and get into that feel of being able to get back to things they enjoy, or being able to not be afraid to like get out and do things without knowing being inspirational. I've had a lot of people reach out recently about, becoming first time moms and just seeing me out hiking, hunting, fishing, doing all those things, and just trying to incorporate little guy and kind of just doing those things has made me feel really good. So I guess a little bit about me that you may not know is very outdoorsy, and definitely try to help other mamas just kind of get back into the feel and groove of life, and knowing that, you know what, sometimes you can just take your little with you, even if you don't think you can.
I love that. I will tell you, as we were getting to know you, I was kind of like, oh, wait, she just went hunting and killed something. And oh, wait, it's like she's the real deal, man. She's not, yeah, she is an outdoorsy woman, right? And I was like, oh, okay then. So yeah, complete polar opposite of me. You will, yeah, not catch me.
Like,
I
no,
mean, I
not
don't
my.
mind fishing. Don't get me wrong. I don't mind fishing, but you will not catch me hunting or out in the cold if I can enjoy it. But I love that you have kind of found that as like your joy, right? When you're not working, is your kind of like your safe
Yeah,
space,
can
things to
you?
do. So
Yeah.
that's awesome. Awesome. Well, thank you so much, Michelle, for taking some time out of your night and hopping on the call here with us. If you guys have any questions or think of anything that you might want to ask Michelle Madison, we can certainly, drop that in the chat or let us know. But I'll tell you what, why don't we bring on Madison? I think Madison, you're up.
Yep.
Yeah. Yay.
Hi, my name is Madison. I currently live in South Florida, so I'm in Florida with Holly and Brian. I've lived in Florida my whole life. I have 3 children, a 5-year-old, a 4-year-old, and a 1-year-old. So we're very busy around here. I started doing virtual assistant and my own working my own LLC. Oh, my daughter was born, so it's been about 4 years now. She just turned 4, so it's kind of like my little anniversary. I wanted to be able to stay home with her and my older son, but still be able to provide for my family and have an income. So this has been the perfect balance. I enjoy it very much, and then now I have another child, another baby. So I love being able to be home with them. My goal for this year is to make sure Brian and Holly don't have to do as much as they've been doing. They're so great and they take on so much, but our job is to help them hand us stuff. So that is their goal. And so that's going to be our goal too. So you will definitely be seeing more of me and Michelle around here. We will not be shy about stepping in and making sure that they allow us to help them. So you'll be seeing a lot of us. And since Holly is going to ask something unique about me, unless you're going to throw me a curveball and do another different question. But so something about me is actually I just got home from coaching girls flag football. I play football, and I grew up playing football. I have 2 state championship rings in football. I played football in college as well for Florida State flag football team. So football is really big. So now my sister and I coach the local high school. So I just got home from coaching the girls. It's very rewarding. I love putting time into my children, but it is also nice to take a step out and put some time into other young adults, young women in the community and help giving them, a good relationship and something to build off of around football and sports, because football is life around here. So that's a little thing about me. So I don't even know if Holly and Brian knew that. Maybe they did, but
I gotta say, Madison, it was funny watching your video because your blurred out background, but your chair actually looked like your husband was in a black hoodie, like hovering behind you. That's what I thought was happening there. I don't know if
okay.
everybody else thought that, but that was kind of funny before I figured it out.
Squirrel.
No.
Can you say squirrel? Did you hear
Yeah.
anything Madison said?
No, I have it blurred. We just moved into a new house, so the background isn't super nice right now. So this is not my creepy husband. This is my chair, and I was swiveling nervously as I spoke. So
No,
Oh
that's
my God.
funny.
I know all kinds of, you had a lot of new stuff happen recently, a lot of nice
yeah,
big milestones. So
yes, this is the
definitely a
year
lot
for
of things.
everyone, not just for me, for you guys too.
Yeah, lots
For
of big
everyone.
things to celebrate. So
Yeah.
that's wonderful. Well, again, I just want to thank Michelle and Madison. I know that we probably don't do it enough, but honestly, there's so many things to this business, and I definitely don't want anything to slip through the cracks. And they're helping us in doing that. That's the bottom line. So, as the team grows, we're not always able to have that one-on-one connection with everyone that we once had, and it's a good problem. It's a good problem to have. And Michelle and Madison are going to help us be able to do that. And one of the reasons also why, of course, that we brought them on today is because going forward this month, for the month of February, you guys, I don't think we mentioned it or told anybody about it here yet. M&M are here. I love it. M&M are here for you. Yeah, if you like M&Ms, there you go. M&M. So, so Brian and I were blessed enough to qualify to go to the South African trip, the executive African incentive. And so, and I share that with you not to brag, but I'm sharing that with you because I think it's important that you guys know that this is it's a pretty big trip, and we're going to be out of pocket for a majority of that trip. And so we wanted to give folks an opportunity to have someone to connect with if you can't get a hold of us or you're struggling to get a hold of of the support. So we have some calling hours that we were going to do for a little bit of time while we are in South Africa. So if you could kindly make a note of this, because here and I've got a slide for this if Brian wants to pull this up, but I'll be honest with you. I'm not going to avoid it. The elephant in the room is we know that hold times have been less than favorable. Okay. If you have tried contacting customer support, the hold times have been less than favorable. And so we wanted to kind of share with you some of the things that the company's doing, and then some of the things that we're doing here, especially for our Amish community, in an effort to try to ease some of that frustration for you guys. Okay. So first and foremost, the company has recently hired 13 new customer support representatives. All right. They have trained those individuals. They put them out on the phone. Now, keep in mind, anytime you have new people on the phone, there's always a learning curve, right? Just when you join this business, especially for those of you who just joined us, you don't even know what you don't know. All right. So you're going to be learning as you go, and that's okay. It's important. That's how we learn. I don't know about you, but I have found that the learning is in the doing, right? So when you talk about your business, just in general, the learning is in the doing. You can sit and watch videos all day and listen to calls all day, but until you start actually doing the do and taking action, that's when, to me, the learning really starts to happen, and that's when you start to grow. So 13 new customer support representatives have been hired. The company is working on hiring more and getting them through that training process as well. And before you call customer support, just ask yourself, right? Is this something that I can answer on my own? Okay. If you're looking just to modify your subscription or maybe place a spot order or just, maybe check your sales volume, if you have access to a computer, that is all information that you can do and manage yourself, right? The company actually does have tutorials on how to place orders in the hub at hub.lifevantage.com. That is an incredible resource for you. So don't be afraid. I know sometimes it's uncomfortable, and look, I get it. I came from a family where it's like, oh, but let me just ask the question. It's easier to ask the question and have someone give me the answer than to figure it out myself. But we want you to learn to help yourselves. All right. So please, I encourage you, try to figure out how to do those basic things on your own first. Also, general support is also available by email. So if your question doesn't have urgency, doesn't have a timestamp on it, it's just a question, you can also go to support@lifevantage.com and you can submit your email that way. Or you can even text. Did you know that you could actually text or chat online on the website? So you can text the same phone number that you dial and people will answer your questions, or you can chat online. Okay. So you have a lot of options available to you in order to help you assist you with your account. Now, for the Amish, we also have gotten permission to allow you to fax in subscription changes and spot orders. So I'm going to give you a fax number. If you have access to a fax, this is awesome. If you know, have an order change that you want to make that's coming up, or let's say you ran out of something, you need to do a one-time spot order for something, then you can handwrite out that request. Make sure to obviously include your consultant ID number, right? Be as detailed as possible, as well as a number that they can call you back at if possible, if they need to call you. But the fax number is 855-676-9280. Now, this is information that we've included in the newsletter that we send out to our Amish community. So if you are currently on the newsletter list and have subscribed to that, you will be getting all of this information in that newsletter. Also, the Amish VIP line. You can now call an Amish VIP line during normal business hours. So we've gotten the line tested. We've worked with corporate. There were some wonky things going on with it a while back, and people just stopped calling it. So we've worked with corporate. We've confirmed it. We've tested it. They have now positioned this phone number to more or less, I don't want to say make a priority, but kind of bump you a little bit closer towards the front of the line, because they understand it's cold out. You guys aren't sitting in the comforts of your home on your cell phone trying to get your business done. So if you need help and are calling in because you don't have access to that technology, you can call the Amish VIP line number. That's 1-844-594-6364. 1-844-594-6364. Okay. And then last but not least, the one thing that we did not include in the newsletter, and this is totally my fault. I was so worried about getting it out in the mail, given that it was such a short month. They literally just got put out in the mail first thing yesterday morning. Is we are going to have 3 days where our lovely assistants, whom you just met, Michelle and Madison, are going to make themselves available for a 4-hour window of time. Okay. And during these 4-hour windows of time, if you are trying to get a hold of support and you can't, especially for the Amish community, if you're trying to make changes on your like subscriptions and things like that, you're going to be able to call Michelle and Madison, and they are going to submit those requests to the LifeVantage leadership team for you. So they're going to make those requests on your behalf. Okay. So the first window that they're going to be available to you is going to be next Friday, which is the 14th. The 14th is the last day before the 15th, which is when our subscriptions run. So we thought it best to make someone available for you guys. So between the hours of 3 p.m. and 7 p.m. Eastern, okay, you can call Madison. If you're, you can always take a screenshot of this, you guys, as well. I will go ahead with Michelle Madison's permission, see about posting it in the Facebook group as well. But I want to be mindful of you guys' numbers first before we just, put that out there. But from 3 to 7 p.m. on Friday, February 14th, Madison is going to make herself available. On Tuesday, February 18th, Michelle is then going to make herself available also for 4 hours between that 3 p.m. and 7 p.m. time frame. Those are generally the hours where support gets really, really busy because they're 2 hours earlier than us. So they're looking at their afternoons, early evening pushes, and that's when their whole time seem to be at their heaviest. Okay. And then last but not least, on Friday, February 21st, Michelle is going to take the first 2 hours from 3 p.m. to 5 p.m. And then Madison is going to take the second 2 hours from 5 p.m. to 7 p.m. So if you didn't get this or you want Michelle Madison's numbers, please call one of us. Let us know. We will be sharing it with our Amish leaders as well, so they can kind of disseminate that information down for you guys. Okay.
Let me say a couple things, Holly, real quick.
Yeah.
So, and just kind of recapping a little bit of what Holly touched on in the beginning, when we were at corporate headquarters and we are kind of asking them of what was driving call volume to them right now. Why is it a 2-hour hold time in some cases for people, and what type of calls are they getting? And their answer was people are calling for things that they can handle themselves. And I'm not talking about the Amish community because you don't have access to a computer. But a lot of people who do have access to a computer are calling to do simple changes that they can do online. We have to be, as consultants, we have to be helping out our customers and our own consultants to be self-serving. It's going to be the fastest and easiest way for them to get done what they need to get done. So that's really, really important, is we got to keep stressing people do that so they don't have to call in and then complain. Because I've gotten several calls from consultants saying, hey, I've got a customer that's trying to make this change, and it's a 2-hour wait time or an hour wait time. And I'm like, they can do that online. Have them go online, log into their account, teach them to log into their account and make that change. They can do it instantaneously for that. Also, when she's talking about call hours and the day before different subscriptions run, we have to tell our people, don't wait till last minute. That happens so often. How many times, Holly, we had people call us like
I took
hours
4
before the
calls today.
subscription runs.
Yeah. I
Yeah.
took 4 calls today of people who wanted to make changes to subscriptions.
People want to make their subscription runs last minute. So don't wait, don't procrastinate, don't wait till last minute. Do it, because you may get caught and not be able to make that change when you want to on that. And last thing, for folks that aren't Amish, if you're thinking you're going to skip the line by calling the Amish VIP line, it doesn't happen, because the company actually knows who's Amish and who's not. Okay,
Yeah.
they do. They have an indicator in their system. And so only Amish folks can call that Amish VIP line to get through there. And I think they said they were going to dedicate like 3 reps to, they're not dedicated to that line, but they're 3 that are designated to answer that line. And so the Amish folks can get through a little bit. And like Holly said, they're doing that as a courtesy because they know you're probably outside somewhere in a lot of cases, in the midst of winter, and then they don't want you to get frostbite. So they want to take your call as soon as possible on that. So I just wanted to kind of reinforce those points.
Yep. So Brian and I will be starting our journey on Friday, February 14th. Yes, that is Valentine's Day. For those of you who are keeping a watch on the calendar, Valentine's Day. So, and then we return on Sunday,
I think the 23rd. Yep.
Yeah, the 23rd. So there's a lot of travel time, but there will be a lot of incredible experiences that will be on this trip. And I will tell you that, and I know not everyone is on this call, but we are beyond grateful, because if it wasn't for us saying yes and pushing past our fears and not caring what other people think and sharing this incredible opportunity, then individuals like yourselves wouldn't have had the ability to be able to share this incredible opportunity and these products with other people as well. Our ability to be able to go on this trip isn't solely based on our efforts. This is a team effort. So from the bottom of my heart, we thank you. I thank you for all the hard work that you're doing. We truly are making an impact. And I see the testimonies all the time. I know a lot of you who are not on social media don't get to see those stories, but even Michelle and Madison, I know because they're posting them in our Facebook groups. The testimonies continue to come in. They never stop coming in on what these products are doing and how they're changing the way people are able to live their lives in the best way possible, and be able to do things that they couldn't do before. And so for that, we are grateful. And for those who want to hear about it, we'll be happy to share some stories and some pictures and stuff from our trip whenever we get back. So yeah, we'll be definitely be taking a lot of pictures, but I digress here. So it's tax season. Does anybody get excited about tax season?
No.
I know Brian just loves it. I don't even like it. I don't like Brian when he's got to do tax stuff. Let me tell you, it's not fun for anybody. But I thought this was a perfect opportunity to remind those of us who have been around for a little while, and those of you who are brand new. Yeah, Stacy, I feel you. Taxes are no fun. I'm going to let Brian kind of touch base a little bit on some things that you guys want to know as it relates to tax time.
Yeah, and this is one of the great benefits of being a business owner and owning a LifeVantage consultant, being a LifeVantage consultant and owning your own business, is you get to count that on your taxes. Our tax code favors small businesses. You get breaks in your taxes when you have a small business, and so there is a lot of benefits to this. And so what happens for most of you, unless you take the standard deduction, it's not really gonna help you that much. But if you itemize your taxes, you get to count your LifeVantage business and take write-offs from that. Well, what is a write-off? Well, a write-off is money that you don't have to pay taxes on. So you get to keep more of the money that you earn because you have expenses that you incurred while trying to make money with this business. And so some of those things are like food. Let's say you're going to a meeting and it's far away, you stop over and have dinner. That is what's called a meal while traveling. You get to write that off on your taxes. Now, for food, it's only 50%. You only get to count half that meal, but still, if you like to eat out and you eat a lot, then that's more that you can write off. If you have a meeting, a lunch meeting where you're presenting LifeVantage to someone, that is a write-off. The travel expenses. So our Amish folks are renting taxis to take them around. Other people, you're driving your car and you get to count mileage. And the mileage rate, I forget, I have to look it up to see what it is this year, but it's somewhere around 60 cents a mile that you get to write off on your taxes. So 1,000 miles times 60, okay, 60 cents, that's a big chunk of change that you get to write off on that. Things for your home, if you get a computer, maybe you make printouts, you're making copies of things. All those different things are write-offs. Now, here's a kicker. So a lot of people ask me, well, what about the product that I buy from LifeVantage? Can I write that off? And the question is, really, the test is, what are you using the product for? If you're using it for personal consumption, that's not allowed if you're using the product for personal consumption. However, I know a lot of you and a lot of, I know we do this, is we buy a lot of product for samples to give out at meetings or give it out with the people we meet, whatever. That is definitely tax deductible. You can count that. So you want to keep track of all this. So you want to create a ledger, whether it be a notebook, whether it be a spreadsheet, something. There's different software packages. There's apps that you can get on your phone to track this. But you want to keep track of all this. So when it becomes tax time, that you can get all that information together and you will take it and count it against what you've earned from LifeVantage. Now, your next question may be, well, Brian, I didn't make that much LifeVantage. I actually incurred more expenses than what I actually earned in commissions, because that's usually the case if you're just starting out. Our first checks were only, 50 bucks, a couple $100, but we were driving around and meeting with people building this business. And so we incurred more expenses in the beginning. So you actually can write off, you actually get a tax benefit, even if the expenses are more than what you've earned. So if you've earned $600 or more, you're going to get a 1099 from LifeVantage. And in fact, we just got ours, I think, last week from LifeVantage. If you didn't earn $600, then guess what? You're not required to report that because they're not required to file a 1099 with the IRS that you earn that money. But if you did, you're going to get that 1099, and therefore I would add up your deductions, because if you don't keep track of your expenses and don't report any expenses against that what you earned, then you're going to have to pay full taxes on what you earned. So again, I want you to keep more of the money that you earn and pay less to the IRS if you don't have to. So that's just something to keep in mind, especially now that we're talking to people and we ask them, "Are you keeping track of your expenses?" A lot of cases, people are saying, "No, I'm not." You really should. You treat this as a business. It will pay you as a business. You get to keep more of your commissions in that case and give less to the IRS because they're just going to blow it anyway. I mean, let's face it, they're just going to spend it on a $900 hammer,
Hey,
those
not to get
things.
political, right? But
Yeah, well,
yeah.
Elon Musk right now is solving all that, right? He's out there figuring out where, where we're spending our money and where we can cut back. So
Oh my
let's leave it
goodness.
to Elon to figure that out.
Oh my goodness. Yeah. So again, if you buy an event ticket, if you make photocopies for flyers or forms for your home meetings, let's say you go ahead and buy pizza for your guests, all of those things play into. If you talk to someone, if I go and I meet someone and I even mention LifeVantage, you better believe that I'm going to write off that coffee, right? So just again, it's the start of a new year. If you haven't done it in the past, don't beat yourself up about it. But now's the perfect opportunity at the fresh start of a new year to go ahead and do that. Um, let's see here. I'm going to share with you our team incentive for the month of February. We've been doing some team incentives, and so we want to go ahead and talk to you guys about that. If you were on the global virtual kickoff that the company did on January 11th, I know some of you scheduled some watch parties, and unfortunately, Mother Nature, I think, hindered some of those watch parties from happening. But we did go ahead and load that replay up. So you guys can watch the replay actually and listen to the replay if you want. But the whole theme for this year is drive. So before we were in our rise era, now we are in our drive era. We are just all about pushing through and racing towards that finish line to get us where it is that we want to go. And so you continue to have the ability to be able to earn tracks by enrolling, retaining, and advancing. Those tracks will earn you points for the Alaskan Incentive Cruise. For those who are still working towards that, you have till the end of March to be able to get yourself on that cruise, which ports out of California. We have several actually Amish couples who have already earned and qualified for that once in a lifetime trip, and they're just head over heels about being able to go on that lifetime experience. But one incentive that we did start was the Drive to Global rank advancements for our team legacy. And what I decided to do was I was going to have two pots, and there's $100 in each pot. And so for anyone who is a senior consultant 1 or greater, who rank advances to a senior consultant 1, 2, or 3, okay, we're going to put more money in that pot, both January, February, and March, so that come April at Global Convention, we're going to go ahead and draw names. And one person is going to get the cash out for the senior consultant pot. And then someone is going to get the cash out for the managing consultant 1 and above pot. Okay. Now, we didn't have any new managing consultants for the month of January, and that's perfectly okay. But we did have 2 individuals reach the senior consultant 1, which is 2,000 in organizational volume. Esther Wingard and Benjamin Dominic Byler. So congratulations to them on hitting SC1. And Esther Wingard actually just had a home meeting last week. At the last week of the month, she had a home meeting, and Henry Swery went out there to her place and did some meetings, and oh my gosh, the enrollments were rolling in the last 2 days of the month. So congratulations to her. And then also hitting senior consultant 2 is Karen Lambright. So congratulations, Karen Lambright, for hitting senior consultant 2. So because the 3 of you rank advanced, we added another $75 to the pot, $25 for each person that rank advanced. So I'm anxious to see. I'm anxious to see how big of a check you guys can have us write when it comes to April for our drive to global from a rank advancement perspective. And then also we're doing the Unstoppable Together. So we're going to drive to the global convention with prizes, products, cash, and global tickets. Now, how this is going to work, and some of the folks have already gotten a jump start on this, is if every household that hosts a home meeting in the month of February, all right, with a minimum of 5 people, that including your hosts, that will be given 2 bags of Axio. So you're going to host a meeting and I'm going to send you 2 bags of Axio that you can use for giveaways, samples, whatever it is that you want to do. But that's 2 bags of Axio. Okay. And then the person who's hosting that meeting is also, they themselves are going to get 10 tickets into a drawing. Yes, Stacy, I am willing to include Peach in there. So Peach is one of my favorites.
No, I did not approve.
Yeah, we stocked up on that one. We stocked up on that one.
Nobody gets Peach.
Nobody gets Peach. So
Yeah, it's under lock and key.
we'll talk about it later, Stacy.
Lemonade, you can have all the lemonade you want.
So whoever's hosting the meeting is going to get 10 tickets that are going to go into a drawing, and you're also going to get 2 bags of Axio. Now, if you are the host and you personally have guests in the room, like it's not just your team showing up, but you personally have people that you invited that show up, you're going to get 5 extra tickets for every guest that's in that room as well. Okay. It's super, super cool. Those are the home meetings. Now, you can also do virtual meetings. Okay. For those of you may not be up on home meetings, or maybe most of the people that you know or you're prospecting, they're spread all over, you can do Zooms. So if you host an opportunity Zoom in February, same rules apply, minimum of 5 people. We can even present. If our schedule allows it, we'll present for you. You just got to get the butts in the seats. All right. We'll also give you 2 bags of Axio. Okay. And again, they can be used for raffles, for incentives, whatever you guys want to use them for, doesn't matter. So whether the home meetings or whether they're virtual meetings, your names and your tickets are going to go in. We're going to do two drawings. There's going to be 2 drawings. One that's going to be on February 16th, which we're probably going to have Michelle and Madison go ahead and help us out with. And then one on February 28th. All right. The winner will get a free ticket to global convention. That's a $200 value. You guys, we're going to pay for your ticket for you to come and be there with us there at global convention, or you can opt for $100 in cash. It'll be your choice, but we're going to do 2 drawings, one in the middle of the month and one at the end of the month. Now, I will tell you, big shout out to Karen and Norman Mast. She already called me. They have 7 meetings for them and their team already on the books. She gave me the locations, who's hosting it, including 2 Zooms in which Brian and I will be actually hosting those Zooms. So again, you ask, get on the schedule. If you don't want to present on your own, we're willing to help you present. You just get the butts in the seats. And then Danny Coons also in Ohio is going to be doing one at the market there on Monday, February 10th. So I'm excited. I'm so excited to hear all the buzz and all the home meetings and people back out on the road sharing the power of activation. So just real quickly then, as some opportunities for you is what for Zooms. Every Wednesday, the company is going to continue to do their Why LiveVantage, Why Now opportunity Zooms, webinars. You can dial into these as well. These are not just on the computer only. We have folks that dial in, so you can invite guests. That's the goal. The goal is for you to get as many guests on this call. It's at 8 o'clock Eastern Standard Time every Wednesday. Again, this information is included in the newsletter. It is also on our team calendar. It's in our events for our Facebooks, all the places, right? So it's pretty hard to miss. So there's going to be a live opportunity Zoom every single week at a minimum for you to be able to invite guests to. And then, of course, every Tuesday, the company does go live in the afternoons at 12 o'clock Eastern with their Tuesday Momentum Tuesday. Today, Lisa Barnes, she dived down into the mind body and the new clinical study. It was quite fascinating, actually. She does a really good job at coming up with different analogies to kind of, I don't want to say dumb it down, but kind of simplify the science message. And she did a phenomenal job with that. And those replays will be made available in the hub at hub.lifevantage.com as well. And then the kickoff call for the first of the month, the FAB, they actually had that last night. And then there will be a closing call for the month on the 25th, February 25th. That's on the 25th of every month. Unless it falls on a weekend, then it gets pushed to a Monday. But that's at 8 p.m. Eastern on the 25th of every month as well. So lots of opportunities to get plugged in, stay connected, be in the know with the events and the science and the products and the incentives, and just try to stay inspired, stay motivated. And look, this business is fun. You can have a lot of fun doing this business. But it doesn't mean that you're not going to have your bad days. It doesn't mean that you're going to have people say no to you, right? Shocking. I know. I don't know why anybody would say no to activation, but they do. They do. So just keep in mind that, staying connected with people makes it easier for you to kind of push through that, right? At the end of the day, anybody who tells you no, just remember they're not saying no to you. They're saying no to the opportunity. They're saying no to the products. And most of the time, it's just not now because it's just not the right time for them to hear this message, right? It's not about you by any means. So be it if they can't see it. But I mean, we tell the story 1,000 times. What if we would have said no to this, right? What if Ben and Fannie Mae would have said no to this? What if Stacy Zerfos would have said no to this? I mean, it's that ripple effect, right? That we talk about. And so that's all that I had. That was a lot. I'm so glad we got to introduce you guys to Michelle and Madison.
Yeah, Holly, I wanted to talk a little bit about product stuff with Mindbody before we
Oh, okay. All right.
and just give some people some tips because Mindbody, again, it's one of the biggest launches we have ever had. The company, we sold out obviously the first round. It's back in stock, and want to talk about setting expectations for our customers and consultants who are using the product or thinking about ordering the product. Because Holly and I get a lot of messages and calls from people, and they go something like this. I've been on the product for a week and I've actually gained weight, or I haven't lost anything yet. And there are actually biological reasons for that. Our clinical, what I would advise people to do is keep talking about our clinical trial. Our clinical trial was a 12-week trial. And this is very important, very, very important. If you what you need to do is remind people, the people who lost weight in the clinical trial, most of their weight was lost in that period between week 8 and week 12. Okay, so they were on the products at least 2 months before they actually started seeing the weight come off. So keep that in mind when you're talking to people. So if they want to purchase the product and use the product, you need to tell them you need to commit to at least 3 months on this product. You'll be on it for 12 weeks. So before you call me and say you're not seeing any results, okay? They don't happen overnight. You didn't put that weight on in a week. It's not going to come off in a week. And it's not healthy to take off 25 pounds in a week anyway. And that was the average, by the way. The average was 25 pounds lost by the 12-week end in our clinical trial. So we've got to do a service and do yourself a service by setting expectations for people. This is at least a 3-month commitment for taking this product. And don't get discouraged if you see weight come on, because you're the product. If you everybody's different, especially if you have an unhealthy gut, your gut can need some cleaning out. Well, the first couple of weeks, the product is going to work on that. Okay, it's going to work on that to clean up their gut. So then it can start doing what it needs to do. So the first couple of weeks, people can actually gain weight. Okay, because they're retaining, maybe they're retaining more water. So Holly put a tip in there and tell people to drink a lot of water. But just we got to get people to get through those first 2 to 3 months of using the product before they can make a determination on whether the product's going to work for them or not. So again, if you get those calls from a customer saying, "Hey, I've been taking this for a week or two, I haven't seen any weight loss yet," we've got to encourage them to push through. We've got to educate them. Our clinical trial says that most of the weight comes off between week 8 and week 12. Okay. Also, a common question that people ask: how long do I need to be on it? Okay. I've been answering it in 2 ways. One way is, well, how long do you want your body to function at an optimal level where you're producing GLP-1? How long do you want that to happen? And the answer is obvious. You don't want that to stop, right? You want that to keep producing the GLP-1 so you can stay on the product. The other way I answer that is like, well, how long is it going to take you to adopt and be committed to healthy habits? That's where a lot of people struggle. They can't adopt and stick to those healthy habits. They fall back to old habits. They fall back to old ways. They start snacking, do less exercise. Okay, life gets in the way, and the weight comes back on. So this is a method for them to use to get the weight off and encourage them to adopt healthy habits. But if they don't adopt the healthy habits, they can just keep taking the product, and it's going to produce more GLP-1 for them. Okay, it's the same with the shots, guys. It's the same with the shots out there, because that's a problem, is people don't want to stay on those forever. But the clinical data for the shots show that the weight comes back. And by the way, the big advantage we have, besides being all natural, no side effects, with the shots, they're losing muscle. 2/3 of the weight that they lose, over 60%, is muscle weight, not fat. You want to get rid of the fat. Fat bad, muscle good. Okay, so you want to get rid of the fat. And with our product, 100% of the people in the clinical trial retained all their muscle mass, 100%. So that is a big advantage we have over other alternatives there. Someone asked me today, I was on the phone with them, and they say, "Hey, I've been seeing a lot of ads for GLP-1 stuff, natural stuff. What makes yours different?" And I said, "Well, we have the only activator. We have the only activator, which means we are getting your body to produce more GLP-1." And they said, "Well, they say that they can activate GLP-1." And I said, but ask them to show you the data, because what they are selling you is a supplement that supports GLP-1 production. It's usually just a vitamin, and they have no data to show that it actually increases GLP-1, whereas we do. We have the science that backs it up. The average is 140%. Some people even more than that. 140% increase in GLP-1 is absolutely huge. We got the data to support it, and that's what sets us apart, because we activate it. We have the data to support it. No one else does. No one in the space has it at all. No one even comes close to it right now. So that definitely gives us a leg up with this product. So I'm sure I can go on and on with more tips, but I just want to make sure that I cover that. Make sure you set expectations with your customers or consultants. They're not going to, the weight's not going to melt off in a week or two. Some people it will. Yeah, and other people see those stories, but that's not the proper expectation to set with people. The weight's going to come off between weeks 8 and 12, because that's what the clinical data shows. So stick to it for 3 months before you even tell me your opinion on whether the product's working or not. But other people surprise you, right? Because they're going to see results very fast. And then there's all those non-scale wins. Okay. People have more energy. They feel better. They notice that they're snacking less. They notice that they're not their cravings are going down. So a lot of these non-scale wins are huge for people. They do notice those. But there are a percentage of people who are going to be disappointed that they don't have the bikini body after 3 days. Okay. So we got to set the expectations correctly with those folks on the product. All right. So it sounds like Fannie Mae's got some stuff, Holly. Is that what I understand? Fannie Mae's got a story?
Yeah, well, she had
Things to
something she
share?
wanted to share. Yeah, I didn't. Yeah, I didn't. I got the message here, so she might have to take herself off of mute. But Fannie Mae, you can close this out tonight.
Oh, thank you. Am I unmuted?
Yep.
Yeah, we can hear you.
Okay. Just a couple quick things that I wanted to add and kind of chime in. I have a meeting and then also wanted to just say about the MB system. Absolutely am in love with it. And it is so much more than a weight loss system. And I am proof of it because yes, I lost inches. Yes, I lost pounds. But what really excited me is I decided to do my own blood work. And everybody that I know that has done their blood work came back with like amazing results. But I wanted to know what mine was after being activated for 11 years and having amazing results in those 11 years. I wanted to know, what is this really going to do for me? So I was that kind of person that had to go do my blood work and then started officially that day and doing the MB system, adding it in with the rest of the activation. And when the nurse called me a couple of days later, she said, oh, your results are really good. Everything's in the normal. And she doesn't see anything that stands out, that everything is basically good. And I was like, okay. And then 9 weeks later, we came back and did the test again. And it was just a basic blood test of like your cholesterol and those kind of things. And she called me a couple of days later and she says, your blood work is perfect. And I'm like, really? What is perfect? Show me these results. So she sent me both and I took them and sat down and compared them. And I was amazed. It's kind of like we talk about when we get up in the morning, we don't know what our oxidative stress level is like. We don't know how high it is or how low it is. We can't feel it. Same thing with our cholesterol. It could be really high and we don't feel it. It's not something we feel, but there could be a war going on the inside that we don't and aren't aware of. And so when I compared it, I have to say I was amazed because my overall cholesterol went down 19 points. My LDL, the lethal cholesterol, went down 14 points. They were in the normal range, but they went down better and actually gotten even better. And then the triglycerides were actually like a tad high. It's considered 100 at normal. Mine was around 117, but they didn't actually fault it or anything, but it went down 44 points in 9 weeks. Like, that is a big deal.
Oh,
And the A1C went from a 5.4 to a 5 in 9 weeks. I have to say, I was shouting from the rooftops because I was feeling good. Like, I didn't have nothing to complain about. But those 9 weeks of a change of adding the MB system in changed my life. And I'm like, obviously, I've continued now, and it's been several months now. And I wish I would have, at that time, I didn't realize that the biggest is yet to come at 12 to 16 weeks. And I wish I would have waited. And just for the fun of it, I might do it again in a couple months because I know it's getting better and better and better the longer I'm on it. And I do tell people, you have to embrace the changes. Like, your brain will play tricks on you and try to convince you like you still want that old, but you put it in your body and you can feel it. Like, your body actually does not want it. If you listen to your body and are in tune with it, you will actually start to embrace this and you will crave things that you normally did not crave that are healthy things. You don't want that other stuff anymore. It's been absolutely an amazing journey for me. I have been so excited because I tell people all the time, be in tune with your body, recognize things. Don't keep forcing your brain to tell you like, oh yeah, I need to still eat that because I used to love donuts or whatever it is. Embrace what's happening because I guarantee you when you eat it, it's not even going to be the same. It doesn't taste the same. It's not even, it's just, there's a big, huge difference. So even though you might not see huge things popping out on the outside, which I have changed too on the outside, I can see the changes in my dresses. I can see it in how I feel. I know I've lost about 8 pounds. Actually, our one son just went on it. That is our biggest kid in the house. Anybody that knows our Jason he is like, I don't even know, 6'7" or something. And he's a big, big guy. And he's been on it for a couple of weeks now, and he's lost 9 pounds. He's excited because he's going to be turning 18 in a couple of months, and he's built big overall. But even him, like, he's lost more than, you know, the average in a couple of weeks. But there's big changes happening with him. Like, he's recognizing that things that used to be, he thought he was craving, he's not craving anymore. He's like, it's not even the same anymore. So you do have to embrace those things. You can't just keep like convincing yourself you're going to still keep eating that, because it's not the same. But absolutely, I told Gentry, don't ever take that stuff away from us, because trust me, it will be in our home forever, because it is not something that I'll ever want to be without. It's an amazing, amazing set. And all the calls and all the Zooms I hear, like just what you said, Brian, we have something completely unique. It doesn't matter. There's all kinds of claims. I know here in Holmes County, there's all kinds of wars going on, that they have this and this and this. But if you really ask for that data, or, you know, their research or science, whatever you want to ask, when they actually come down to it, they have nothing to show you. They come back and tell you, well, I mean, there's certain ingredients in there that have shown to help activate it, but we really don't have. So I say question, ask them the questions, because yes, it is not the same. And I heard on, I don't know how many Zooms lately from our scientists who are, you know, on LiveVantage side, that say we can speak with boldness because there's nobody that has what we have. So take that serious. I just want to make sure that people know that it is other things changing that you may not know, especially if you didn't do the blood work. So I'm pretty excited. But the other thing I wanted to mention is we are putting lots of meetings on the schedule, but there is a meeting that we just scheduled today that's going to be at the Berlin Community Building, and it is going to be on the 13th at 6:30 of February. And Danny Coons and Noah have committed to come down and actually help us to present that meeting and actually help be part of the presenters. So we have not had Danny Coons and Noah come down and present for a long time already. So I hope everybody here in Holmes County is going to take that serious and really invite people to that meeting, because like I said, it's been a long time. So I think we're really fired up and excited that they're going to be coming down and helping to share that. And hopefully I can get my mom and dad to come with them. And we have all a good night of sharing and testimonies and whatever, but make sure that you're putting the 13th on your schedule, being at the Berlin Community Building. And then also the week of the 17th, we are going to be in Tennessee pretty much all week doing meetings, one after another. I am still actually just finishing up on addresses where those meetings are going to be. So if you do have somebody in the Tennessee area, you can reach out to me and I'd be happy to share which nights are where. But I am wrapping up those last pieces. So, and I think, I'm not sure the last week what we'll be doing, but if there's people that need meetings, you know where to find us. We're here to help you guys, but thank you, Brian, Holly. Thank you for the ones that are helping you guys to do what you do to keep our team running smoothly. We really greatly appreciate you guys. And yes, safe travels, have fun on your adventure. Yes, absolutely. I wish you guys a phenomenal trip, and thank you guys for what you do.
Awesome.
stuff.
Thank you
Thank
so
you,
much
Fannie
for
Mae.
sharing that, Fannie Mae. That's awesome, because again, you can't see what's going on the inside. And sometimes we're not always the best judge of, you know, we're not always in tune with our bodies as much as we want to be. And like you said, you've been activated for so many years. You're like, what more could possibly change, or how could it get better? You know, that's incredible. Thank you so much for sharing that. That's awesome. I really appreciate that. And I love hearing
Absolutely.
the other meetings getting scheduled too. That's just,
Yeah.
it's exciting.
Exciting stuff, guys.
It is. It's wild. It's been wild. I don't know if it could get any wilder than it's been, but it's been an exciting,
It absolutely can, and it will. It will. And the decision everybody got to make is if you're a part of it or not, if you're going to miss it. So we're just getting started. That's the thing to keep thinking about. I mean, it's hard to say that. I shouldn't say it's hard to say that. It's hard to believe when I say that because we've been in for 13 years. But honestly, I still feel like we're just getting started. We haven't scratched the surface yet with this. And so, if you're brand new, you haven't missed it at all. At all.
I didn't even share. We're doing a whole meeting at our house tomorrow
Oh yeah.
night.
Yeah, that's right. We're doing it tomorrow night.
Hey guys, if you haven't invited your neighbors, we literally individually invited over 100 people. We went our entire street, up and down our street, our entire neighborhood, and we invited, of course, some other people outside of that. So we ourselves, we don't ever ask you guys to do anything that we wouldn't do ourselves. And so we're doing a whole meeting tomorrow night in Sarasota. So if you know anybody in Sarasota, reach out. We'll give you the address. You can have them join us. We'd love to have you. So
All
that's
right, guys, we're past our hour.
way over.
And,
I know.
we don't want you to miss your beauty sleep, and so we'll wrap it up here for tonight, and we'll do this again next month on the first around the 1st of March. So thereabouts. So thanks everybody for tuning in.
All right. Take care.
Bye
Bye.
bye, everybody.